Good idea.
They just go with the flow. It's the Hershey and Keegs Show.
Welcome to Hershey and the Keegs Show, starring pitcher Mark Hirschman and his personal catcher, Mike Keegan. Every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live from the Governor's Comedy Club radio studio. Thanks so much for listening.
Well, it is Tuesday night, 9 p.m. We are back in the sack, and we are ready to attack. It is the Hershey and the Keegs Show. Oh, my God, it's been a couple weeks. We're so excited to be back.
It's been a fucking forever, man. It's been
It
too
has
long.
been a forever.
It's been a forever, but we're back, and
It's been a forever.
and we're back in the sack.
We are back in the sack.
Should we start from 2 weeks ago and then work our way closer? How do you want to go ahead?
Everyone's been asking that we should start from 2 weeks ago and work.
Yeah,
our way back.
that's what the people have been asking.
Yeah, that's what everyone's been.
So we're good to we're glad to be back.
We are good to be back, too.
We're good to be back. 2 weeks ago we were not here. Tony had bestowed on us some gems of Islander tickets. So me, Montroni, Chris Monty, Mike Keegan, and Tony, we all went to the Islander game. And we had some handicap parking thanks to Tony's one leg.
That's right.
So, although I don't think we really took advantage of that, because I feel like we're like, all right, where's the parking lot? And then we drove about 3.5 miles to an underground parking lot, and then we walked all the way to the USB Arena, where I feel like we could have parked closer for Tony's leg.
We parked. It was probably like a good, at least a quarter mile.
Oh,
walk.
easily.
Maybe close to a half.
I feel
mile.
like we walked 2 track rounds.
And which we did. We paid for the garage park. I paid for the garage
Yeah,
parking.
you did. Yeah.
But where there was a handicap parking in there.
Right.
But about 40 feet from the arena itself was a giant empty handicap parking lot.
Tons of people without legs parking
and
there.
And we're short, we're fat, we're one-legged. There's plenty of spots for us.
Tons of spots. Yeah, we managed to park backwards in a spot that was only for electric cars, only for handicapped people that had electrical cars.
Exactly. What are the odds?
I don't understand. Is there such a need for people with wheelchairs and other prosthetics that have to park in electric spots?
I think it's the ones that have to drive by like breathing into a straw.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, we took one of their spots.
Yeah.
And it was quite a hike.
Remember, towards the second period, I walked outside. I saw one of them like worming his way up to the. Because he couldn't find a parking space because we took it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He had a plug. It's a long plug. We did have a lot of fun, though. We did a good time.
It was a blast.
It was certainly one of the most disgraceful sporting events I'd ever gone to. We were in the third period. Islanders were up 4-1. 5 minutes left or so. We're hugging, kissing, chest bumping, and next thing you know,
let's be honest, we were kissing a lot longer before that.
Game had nothing to do with it. Game had nothing to do with it. But we were
kissing when we found that parking spot.
That's exactly right. And then next thing you know, it's 4-2, and you're not really paying them much attention, and then it's 4-3, and then it's 4-4.
It's a nail bite, and now it's like, we're gonna watch them win in overtime.
Yeah, and then we watched them lose in was it regulation?
It was in overtime.
Overtime, we watched them go from 4-1 to 5-4, and they lost.
There was 8 minutes left. They gave up a 3-goal lead.
Horrific.
At one point in the third period, Monty's just like, "Yo, they're gonna win it. They're up by 3
let's
with
go.
10
Let's
minutes
go to the
left.
gin mill."
You called it though.
Let's go to the
you
bar.
said they always blow it in the third period.
That's the Islanders. I'm like, there's plenty of time for them to lose it. And what do? Those friggin' loser douchebags.
Right, douche nozzles, scumbags, bastards.
They lost. They've been playing all right as of late, though.
No, every game they've won since then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Honestly, they really have.
They've gone on a torrid run since then.
They literally won, other than this past Sunday, they've won every other game.
Every other game. They've been on a torrid run toward the cup. And we'll remember the only game that they lost during that run
exactly.
was that evening. But
the seats were great.
The seats were really good. The seats were very good, very enjoyable.
They're up 3-1 right now.
And
Edmonton.
Tony and I remained sober. You and Monty were like giggly little girls. It was almost nauseating. You were drinking like your little Zinfandel or your White Horse Pikes. What do you call those?
Sauvignon Blanc.
No, then there was some other like cans of like.
Oh my
fruity-
God! Yeah, wine. They had wine in a can.
Yeah.
It was Pinot Grigio in a can or something.
And
I like it in a can.
And Monty was drinking $27 thimbles of bourbon or
Oh my
whiskey.
God.
Was it whiskey?
It was whiskey. He was
Yeah,
drinking
but I mean,
Jameson's.
like I would say, like you go up, and for anyone watching, can I get a shot of Jameson's? And it was like in this cap, it was like a little tiny driplet.
Yeah, and
like
we know Monty's very, very generous. So
generous man.
So the first 2 rounds are on him. I'm like, no, I gotta buy this guy a friggin' round
right, that's
of
exactly
Jameson
right.
that costs $27.
$27.
And
He'd have to buy you 11 rounds of your sissy drink in order to equivocate that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But and then Mark, thanks for not buying anybody anything.
I think at the end I bought some.
On the way home, you bought me fries from Checkers.
Oh yes, that's right. And I shared. Hold on a second. I shared my heaping bag of popcorn.
Yeah, he bought himself a bag of popcorn that
Yeah.
I was nervous to ask you if I could just have like a handful.
I was
of it.
nervous to give it to you, honestly. Yeah.
Listen, even Tony drove, so I bought him.
I wasn't going to get involved in your high
Tony-
stakes booze fest that you guys were in. Monty was $100 deep before we even walked into the arena.
That is true.
You know, no thanks, man. I had my turkey sandwich in the cellophane. I was ready. I didn't need any of that
Mark
nonsense.
brought his own lunch.
I brought my little turkey. Listen, there were some things that I saw. I still to this day cannot understand how they sell the Islander donut for $11.99. For one donut, they're selling for $11.99.
That's egregious.
It's fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous. But you guys were definitely adorable. You and Monty, you're like your eyes were like little slits in the snow. You were, you know. And for anyone who wonders, listen, people who know me, they know that I get a little bit of a rap for being effeminate because I don't do a lot of manly deeds, and I'm a crier, and I'm very emotional, and I'm sensitive. But when it comes down to it, the real homosexual, without a doubt, is Keegs. So there's no question about it. There was one point where we were like, me, Montroni, and Keegs were waiting to go back in after one of the second period, and Tony had gimped off looking for a hot dog, and he was gone for what seemed like an eternity. He was just gone forever.
Really?
Yeah, you were gone for a long time.
I thought we lost you.
We thought we lost you. Yeah, we were going to send a bomb-sniffing dog after you. So the two of them are like, they're already a little tipsy, and they're telling a story, and Keegs is like, come a little closer. And I'm like, well, why? We're not going in the seats yet. You don't like being close to me when I'm telling a story. I'm like, I don't have to be in your womb right now. Why do I need to be
Get in my womb, Hirsch.
You're like, you have to be so close to you. I don't understand. You like
I'm telling a story, and you're 3 gates away.
It doesn't. There was nobody. It was empty. We were there. I could hear you just like this, and you're like, "Come here, come into my bosom." And I'm like, "Why do I have to listen as if I'm on your teat right now?"
Yeah, get on the teat.
I don't understand. I'm like, listen. I'm as effeminate as they come, but when it comes down to it, though, I like the titties, though. You know what I mean? And I feel like you might have felt like that we should have had some sort of a non-heterosexual moment, and I was worried.
It was a bonding moment.
It was.
We're at a sports game.
No, that's true. You're right.
You know how gay it is when you say call it a sports game.
Sports game, yeah, that's exactly right. But we had a good time. We had, it's funny. I had a lot of excitement because I had not been there before, so I'm looking on the menu and like, what are we going to eat? And I dropped the ball on that. I had some sort of gray, dried up chicken sandwich that was fucking horrible.
You went with the first thing you saw.
Yeah, man. Damn.
You went with the buffalo. You went with the buffalo chicken cheesesteak,
and it was such a failure.
And you know what I got? I got a cheesesteak on top of a hot dog, which was disgusting.
Oh my God.
I didn't even finish it.
What a life failure that was for me.
They have so much good. They have Shaquille O'Neal chicken there.
I would have had Chenille's O'Neal's.
Yeah, Chenille O'Neal. Chenille O'Neal. Who's in the WNBA.
I would have had Chenille O'Neal's chicken there. The food was I just messed up, and then that's why the popcorn, which I just savaged through because it was actually enjoyable.
Popcorn was delicious.
The popcorn was delish, but we had a nice time, and that was
Mark was hanging around those donuts. I'm like, oh, is he about to get us a bunch of donuts right
dude,
now?
11. I actually went up there to say, please explain to me the derivation of an $11.95 donut. She said, no, the Islanders donut has $11.95, or you can get just a regular plain donut for $6. $6.95.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on in our life.
Exactly.
She's like, well, do you want one of them? Like, I don't want anything. It's fucking disgraceful, though.
Yeah.
So the Islander game was reason why we weren't there on December 5th, and last week Mikey had a gig, but a couple days before that gig, we had our gig. We had the Herschy and Keegs Comedy Spectacular.
Whoa, what a
Friday at Brokerage Comedy Club, and I would say no matter what our hopes and aspirations were for this show, they met them and they exceeded them.
Far exceeded.
Yeah, it was. I don't want to, brag, but we should because
We
it
definitely
was.
should. Every single person had a great set.
Well, I mean, overall, it was a good night.
Almost every single person had a great set.
Yeah,
You probably the best I've seen you.
yeah, that was a powerhouse show.
I've seen you perform
Many times.
for a decade now.
Yeah, a long time. Yeah,
Probably the best I've seen you.
yeah, it was a good set. Thank
We
you.
had
I
a couple
appreciate
guest
it.
spots dropping.
Yeah.
Olga Namer and
Yep.
Dave Hazoot.
Yep, right.
They were doing spots over here at Governor's in
Sure,
Levittown.
sure.
They stopped over there and
Yep.
they knocked it out of the park.
Knocked it out like Hank
they were
Aaron and
great.
Babe Ruth.
How about Patty O'Rourke?
Killer.
Oh my
Like,
God.
forget it. Yeah.
Mike Keegan.
Mike Keegan had a great
was
set.
there.
Tony Walker, our host,
Tony,
producer.
jeez.
Yeah, that was.
Tony from beginning to finish was awesome.
We were really proud of Tony.
Thank you, guys.
I was like a
appreciate the
baby bird.
opportunity.
No, not a baby. I wasn't like a baby. I was a proud
Proud
bird.
uncle.
Right.
Proud uncle.
Right,
That's
you
what
were
I
like a
meant.
little bird
That's
shitting in the
not-
corner. Yeah.
It's not like a baby bird.
You're
I was
like a baby
proud
bird
uncle.
eating
How
out
do I
of
get that mixed up?
someone's mouth. I was proud of Tony, and we had a little funny episode with our host Brandon LaCaruba, which he subsequently sent me apology texts, which was totally uncalled for, and he's a very nice boy,
He is.
nice kid. But
have to apologize
for the
to
for the 130 or whatever it was of you that were there, you would have seen that. When Brandon brought me up on stage, he said, and your next comic, you guys all know and love him. He's half of the Herschy and Keegs comedy podcast. Here is, and he blanked. He couldn't remember my name, so he just said Herschy. And
At least he remembered which one you
he
were.
remembered who I was, and it was quite hilarious, I have to say. And he felt terrible, but it certainly gave me a little bit of a segue into a funny line. But the truth is this, though, like when you audition, I should say, for like to become a host, the requirements aren't much. Like, do I have to be funny? No, not particularly. No one really. What do I need to do? Really, just remember the names.
Everyone's names.
Just remember the names of the comics.
Remember everyone's names and don't drop an N-bomb.
And especially if the name is one of the people that are paying you, you probably should know their names also.
Yeah.
Even if I do time in between them, are they expecting me to be funny? Not particularly. No,
Yeah.
just go up there and just remember the name of the person who's paying you. And
I understand it's a tough position for him to be in, but I can't be too critical. Also, this is not long ago. This is
where'd
maybe
that picture
five.
come from? I never even saw that. That's a
This is
great picture.
maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Speaking of Chris Monty,
Yeah.
I was hosting a show
Sure.
at Chris and Tony's.
Yeah.
And Monty's headlining, and I was hosting.
Sure.
And I had known Monty. I'm close friends with him for close to 8 years at that point.
I would say almost brothers. Yeah.
I'm bringing him up on stage. I blanked on his name.
That's
as I
amazing.
see him walking up there, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, oh yeah, Chris Monty. I'm like, this is somebody I've known, and
Right.
I'm good friends with.
Cherished, emulated, loved.
Yeah.
Masturbated about.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, overall, though, beside those little tiny hiccups, which weren't hiccups at all, we had a great time. I think.
Can't thank you people that came out enough.
Absolutely, and certainly for me, my greatest joy doing stand-up to this day, even after all these years, is when people get to see me for the first time who have never seen me before. That's my greatest joy. That's why I still think I do it and deal with the anxiety and everything else. And there were several people in the audience who fit that bill, and they were there for me. And
Some that you haven't seen in 30
oh,
years.
geez,
at
there
the
were
scene.
girls from high school that I haven't seen literally since 1988, 89 that showed up, which was very special to me, and some local moms who had never gotten a chance to see me perform.
See, I
and,
like when people come to see me for the last time.
the last time. I would say that's usually everybody.
Yeah, that's
who's
what
there.
that's what I get my
Yeah, except for your mom and dad were there, and they had a great time, and your uncle and your aunt and
Patty,
aunts
Uncle John.
Yeah, they all had a great time. Your dad felt like it was a great show.
Cousin Angela came out with some
Ange was
friends.
there. I saw Angie, so it was really good.
Yeah.
And so we'll do it again. And we can't thank you guys enough for sure.
Yeah.
So
we'll do it again, and we're
super.
gonna try to do an earlier show because I know the late start kind of turned some
yeah,
people
it's okay.
off.
We're gonna mix it up a little
Yeah.
bit. We had some late starter there, people who like that. But next time out, we'll make it we'll do an 8:15 a.m. show. for the
Exactly.
people.
I'll do that.
We'll change it
Oh,
up.
yeah. Then thank you, governors, for letting us do it.
Yeah,
It's,
that was terrific.
Truly.
Tony told a little story on stage, which I never knew, but I think we need to kind of address, which is truly unbelievable. For those who have not seen Tony perform, which other than the people that were there that night probably incorporates anyone, Tony told a story that Tony for many years was essentially common law married to Sally. They weren't on paper, but they were married basically. Yeah. Their kids were raised together for 10 some odd years, and as you know, for the entire time that Tony and Sally together, Tony was sans a leg, as he still is. Yeah. What I did not know, but Tony told an adorable little anecdote on stage, was that Sally's first husband, the father of her children, also has one leg, and he was missing the same exact leg that Tony's missing.
She's got a type.
All these years, and it's just remarkable to me that what are the odds of that?
You didn't know that before the show?
I never knew that, and I'm just trying to think, like, did it go down where she's just swiping right? She's like, all I want is a two-legged man this time. I'm not. No, you sure you don't want someone funny or someone who can take care of you? Or no, just the
if you
two
want, if you want to get with Sally, just chop one of those.
Just
limbs
two
off.
legs, and so that's incredible to me that she's gone through life with two men for a large part of her adult life, both of which were missing limbs. Yeah.
Everybody's got their thing.
Right.
Yeah.
She's got a fetish.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but that was just a totally normal, seamless thing when it happened, when you guys got together. It was just, she's like, all right, well, I'm used to it.
We knew each other as kids. We lost touch for 30 years, and then through Facebook we reconnected. Mm-hmm. She actively pursued a friendship because she thought, oh, this will be cool. He can, my husband can connect with this guy, and they can talk shop, so to speak.
Yeah.
And
talk chop.
Right.
Talk chop.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
It just kind of went from there, but they ended up splitting up instead.
Wow.
And
my husband can essentially be replaced by this man. That's
exactly right.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow, Tony, you did a great job up there.
Thanks for having me, fellas.
I am going to, the next time you perform, I'm actually going to come and I'm going to take some notes because I think that there's some room to work with there.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think if you're really serious about doing something about comedy, I can definitely help you. 100%.
Well, thank you.
So,
Pat O'Rourke said that too. I've known Pat for a while. He said he didn't even know until he saw me do it on stage.
Yeah.
He said the same thing. I have so much stuff running through my head.
Yeah.
So
it's all about. Listen, the truth is sometimes people just do it, in a situation like that, and you don't want to take it seriously as from a thing. But if you do, I think that I had some ideas. I mean,
cool. No, I would love that.
That night I was in my head, obviously, you know everything, but I'd love to be able to help you and help Mike also because he can get better too.
Please help me.
Diane Morbido Keegan says, "Hi Tony, happy to have met you." Right back at you.
Yeah, she's a
Mama
lovely
Keegan.
woman.
Yeah,
she'll be inboxing you privately before long. Don't worry.
She's just being nice.
She'll do that all the time. Mikey had texted me a couple of times this week. I think he was afraid that I was going to forget this. So before we deep dive into anything else, Mikey, why don't you tell the story? And I don't know what it is, but you wanted me to bring up the subject of
when I started. When I was kind of new in comedy.
All I know is you said when I was a scumbag at the rehab facility. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Fire away.
I was wondering because we were talking about like the early days of comedy, and this is when we were putting our show together. And
sure.
We all started out together, and it just made me think of a time when I started out, and it's so hard to get stage time when you're starting out in comedy.
Yeah,
and especially to get longer sets in.
Yes, sir.
5 minutes, 7 minutes. That's all you're getting, really.
Right. Little tastes.
There was a guy that was booking rehab facilities, drug rehabs.
Yeah.
And when you perform there, you could do 15 minutes, you could do 20 minutes.
As much as you want.
And at this time, I was trying to build up to a 15-minute set.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'll do these things, but they're really just mostly for comedians who have been in rehab or clean off drugs.
Sure.
So I would go to these rehab facilities so I can get my 15-minute set in.
Yeah.
And I would start off by telling all these people that are in the facility, and a lot of them are rehabs where they've been sober for a couple weeks, couple months, but a lot of them we did are also just detox facilities where they've been sober maybe 24, 48 hours.
That's it.
And they're climbing up the walls.
Right.
And I'm
ripping their skin
I would start
off.
off my set by saying, I know I was right where you guys were.
Yeah.
Not 7 months ago. I am 7 months clean off drugs, alcohol.
Yeah.
And I would get this big applause.
Right, yeah.
And they would be on my side. I did that for the first time I did one of these. I did that, and I'm like, ooh, this works. This could be
works,
my angle.
yeah.
I would go to these rehab facilities for probably 2 or 3 years after that. And I would tell stories about how I was really bad on drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
And I would get them on my side, and I would be like the hero of these people. And I'd walk out, and they'd be like, thanks for being on such an inspiration. I was never clean off drugs or alcohol.
Not to this day, not.
To this day. But I never had a drug problem.
Right.
But I would lie to these. I would lie to these people.
You deserve a drug problem.
Just so that I can get my 15-minute I do deserve a drug. I should probably start
you're
doing
a
drugs.
disgusting human being.
I would lie to these poor people who are 24 hours clean and going literally. I see them going through withdrawals.
Right,
in
they're
the
shaking.
audience.
That's right.
And I'm like,
their fingers are shaking. They're holding onto a cigarette ash.
I'm like, if I can do this, you can do this.
Right.
And then I'm like making up stories about when I was going through my withdrawals and I was in a detox facility. I'm like, I sat right where you were. I went to this facility, and the people that worked at that facility, this fucking guy never went here.
Nope, didn't went here.
But it was all a ruse, just so I could do a 15-minute set.
So essentially, the morning of these events, you were in your basement jerking your friends off, doing bong hits while doing fucking lines off of his fucking ass crack.
Now I'm like, I'm gonna go lie to a bunch of drug addicts so that I can, so that I can do 15 minutes.
But you know what? Sometimes you can.
But I think I think I did inspire some of these people to stay clean.
So I have to tell you something, and I will take every possible shot at you possible and belittle you in every way. But the fact is, if you made an impact on them, whether it was being a bullshit artist or not, that's significant.
Yeah.
I've actually heard a lot of people take shots over the years at what's her name, the Long Island medium lady,
Teresa
Caputo, and they don't believe that her methodology is correct, and they don't believe that she's being real. Yeah. But if you see the significance that she makes with people saying, you know, Uncle Tony came through, he says he's okay, he feels, and it really means something. You
give him comfort.
Sometimes you almost have to use that sell, even if listen. The truth is, were you hurting anyone by saying that you were?
I wasn't. Unless they're listening now and they're just like, "Oh, he was full of shit 10 years ago."
Oh my god, pass the rock.
Exactly. But yeah, no. I really think that I made a positive impact on these people's lives.
I think you did make an impact on their lives, and I
probably saved a few lives.
You probably saved all their lives. Yeah. You probably saved all their lives. So, Mike Keegan, the lifesaver.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Look, I'm still getting applause for flying the drug addicts 10 years ago so I can get stage time.
I don't have a problem with it, and
I'm gonna still do that. I'm gonna.
Maybe it's time for you to give back a little bit. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I think you might be able. You know, now that you're a big borderline headlining comic, maybe it's high time that you go back to the veterans, or maybe it's time to go overseas to like the Bob Hope tour and things like that.
I should
Rick Adonna does
USO
that
tour. Yeah, maybe I'll go with Rick Adonna.
Why not?
Wear a little helmet on the.
Yeah, didn't you spend $20 for a camouflage hat at a guy from Jones Beach?
At a Jones Beach,
you got
concert,
scammed by some homeless guy or whatever.
Yep, exactly.
So maybe take advantage of that.
I'll wear that hat. They'll never know.
No, that's basically the ticket you need to get.
I'll stolen valor myself into.
Dude, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
No, yeah. So,
I'm proud of you, brother.
Yeah, I probably did save a couple of lives. So.
I'm proud of you. I really am. I saw today that your girlfriend, you say Puerto Rican. I don't think she's Puerto Rican. I think she's.
I don't think she is either.
No, Mexican.
Like one of the Mexicans.
Something. One of the Mexicos.
She's from one of the Mexicos.
So I see that
Colombia.
Carla is selling Cojito.
Cojito.
Carla's selling Cojito, and there was a little bit of questionable math, by the way, that we should really talk about.
Did my mom tell you to say this?
No, but I didn't speak to your mom, and I haven't checked her inbox messages, which I'm sure there's many of, as they usually are. Carla is selling different types of cojitos, whether it be coconut or vanilla or whatever it is, and the advertisement said you can buy one 16-ounce cojito for $20, or you can buy 3 16-ounce cojitos for $60. And I'm thinking to myself, something's amiss here. I guess we understand that that's how much it's going to cost.
But if you buy 4, $80.
Well, that wasn't part of the advertisement, but it did say if you buy a 30-ounce or the bigger bottle, there was a deal. But why the need for the explanation of how much it is if you multiply each $20 bottle? I don't understand that. I
didn't even really look at the thing.
Yeah,
because
you should.
The place where she gets her eyelashes done.
Oh,
she's Hispanic.
Yeah.
I guess they made the advertisement.
Yeah.
And I guess that was their logic that they used.
A lasher.
Yeah.
Someone had said to me that I met someone who I said, "What do they do for a living?" And they said they're a lasher. I never heard I never knew what that was.
That was like one of the people like in Cambodia that whip you if you spray paint on.
I would like that. You would pay for that probably, but there's a name for everything nowadays.
Lasher's eyelash person. You know what they do? They're expensive too. I think Carla spends like $300 every time she goes there.
Unnecessary.
They're made of mink.
Oh, really?
And they thread the eyelashes on top of your old eyelashes.
Oh,
so
really?
It's like
wow,
like a Muppet.
Yeah, I think I did a joke about caterpillars as my eyebrows on stage the other day.
Yeah.
I went through I was pretty happy with my set, I have to say. There was one bit that I wrote that I'm not going to use again. That was a little bit of a groaner, which I'm always worried about. You know what a groaner is? When people will,
you don't
instead
get
of
the laugh, you get the
Yeah, because I did a bit about how, if it wasn't for my wife reminding me every 3 weeks, my toenails would curl up like those women in the Guinness books where they just go round and round. And that was, I thought it would do better.
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, the bits leading up to it did really well, but that bit was a little bit weak. But that's neither here nor there.
You have
Let's
a great
not dwell
delivery
there.
too up there.
People were really were thrilled with my delivery. They really were. I mean, we could talk more about me for the rest of the night, but
I'm sure we will.
Oh, Tony's just putting up pics. I didn't realize all these fucking pictures even existed. That's amazing. Yeah, thank you. That's
put up that picture that you showed us before the show earlier.
What was that?
Well, it's out there.
It is out there.
It's out there.
Let's go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
throw it out there.
that's all right.
No.
We want people to keep watching. And
We made fun a little bit, but if anyone's looking to buy Cojito, Carla, Keegan's girlfriend, Carla Okerson, does sell. She has the regular
delicious.
coconut flavor. She has the
spiced coconut, which has like a cinnamony flavor
yeah,
to it. Pistachio, which is new this year.
Oh, I like that. So it's got the nuts in it or whatever.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
And peanut butter.
Oh, delicious. All right.
But she'll also
Yeah.
mix together the peanut butter and she has Nutella also.
Okay, good.
She'll mix peanut butter and Nutella. Snickers Coquito.
Wow.
Yeah.
Snickito?
Snickito.
Oh,
I think
wow.
I'm gonna have to bleep that out. I think.
Really?
I don't know. I don't
What?
know. I don't know if we're allowed to say that on air.
What, Snickito?
It sounds like a racial.
It does?
epithet.
I don't. That's what we're gonna
You
take
can't-
off.
Look at that little Snickito over there.
Oh, my God.
I don't know. Maybe.
Isn't that? Doesn't she have a cousin named Snickito?
But yeah, let me know if you guys want some Coquito. It's 1 for 20,
Yeah.
2 for 40,
Yeah.
3 for 60, 4 for 80.
Even if she wrote down 3 for 55, 58, I would feel better.
Well, my mom messaged me before. She's like, there's no value with if you buy the 3.
Oh,
right?
okay, good,
She's
yeah.
like, it's just my opinion. I'm like, you have an opinion
Yeah.
on friggin' everything. I know.
I wasn't looking to cause any issue. I'm just saying in general that there wasn't a deal there.
You're right. And
Yeah.
if I had made that flyer,
Yeah.
I would say, like you said, buy 3, it's $55. You get $5 off.
That's all.
And you give them as gifts.
Right.
You have one for yourself.
Yeah.
You give a couple as gifts. It's a great gift. You give it to
Yeah.
your boss, whatever.
Right.
And it's delicious stuff.
You give a gift. You give.
And I'll tell you what, it'll get you a little bit of a buzz.
All right, I'm gonna make note of it. I probably will be purchasing some
Yeah,
as
it's
we
delicious.
get closer to the holiday season. Have you? I feel like a couple of weeks have gone on and you haven't been to any concerts, which is bizarre to me. Like,
Nope. I saw Mark Roberge at the.
Did we didn't talk about Roberge, or
we didn't talk about that on air yet because that was.
That was also one of those weekends. Okay.
Yeah.
So now let me ask you: did you happen to be? I know this was a big thing going on, and I'm not so in tune with it, but I heard Madonna perform this weekend.
Do you know I was this close to going to that concert?
I'm not shocked by this whatsoever. Tell me about how that came about.
So Carla's daughter works at Barclays.
Oh, I didn't know that.
She's a hostess in like the suites that they have there.
That's sweet.
That is very sweet.
Yeah.
But Carla loves Madonna. Carla's like, let's go. It was a Thursday night. Neither of us had anything to do.
Yeah, of course.
Thank God we were all sick in the house.
Oh, good.
We were not feeling well. And Carla's like, I think I'm too sick to go.
Was that this past week or the week before?
Let's say the week before.
Do you have the vid? Is it the vid again?
No, it's not the vid.
Oh, okay.
Everyone tested negative for flu and COVID.
Okay, go ahead.
But so luckily she was too sick to want to go, but I went online. I saw tickets, like decent tickets for like $75.
And where was this venue? Where
at
was
Barclays in Brooklyn.
Okay, gotcha.
$75 for like decent tickets. I'm like, I don't even like Madonna, and I would go.
No, but this is a legend.
It's a legend. But I heard she didn't sound great.
Okay.
I heard she looked terrible.
Yeah.
And both nights she was there, she didn't go on until like 11:30. She made everyone wait around for hours.
Wow.
She has like 3 drag queens that open up for her.
Oh, wow.
And then she goes on at like 11.
Yeah, I wasn't with the whole Madonna thing recently, and then someone had shown me a picture of what she looks like, and I was like...
Gremlin.
No, but someone showed me a picture, and I thought it was my mechanic. I was like... I couldn't believe... I'm like, wow.
Earl?
I'm like, I swear to God, that's Danny. I'm like, I couldn't fucking believe, like, what the hell? And I'm not an age basher, and I'm not... But what in God's name happened to that head?
Way too much Botox and all types of stuff.
Shovels in the face.
Like you said, and it's true. There's a picture of Roseanne Barr.
Yeah.
Where it's like, who would have thought in 2023
that
Roseanne is hotter than Madonna?
Oh my God.
Roseanne aged
hotter than McMahon. How would she reason?
Did I say McMahon?
Yeah.
Roseanne hotter than McMahon.
Yeah.
But she aged gracefully, Roseanne.
Oh,
Madonna
beautiful
looks
woman.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Sounds terrible. She's kind of a piece of shit of a human being anyway,
right.
Madonna.
Yeah. Taking that Dennis Rodman dick all those years,
exactly.
too.
That'll do it for you.
You know?
Yeah, that'll...
Lucky bitch.
That's why the syphilis will do that to you.
You know, it's interesting. She went through all those years where it's like she was like a regular talking person, then she was British for about 20 years.
You're from Detroit. Shut up.
You dirty bitch. You are. But again, someone's like, hey, this is Madonna. I'm like, what? Like, she just did my axles.
She probably did.
Fucking dirty bastard.
Yeah, I can't stand her. I'm glad I didn't go, and I heard it was terrible. And
Good. What's with I heard the 3-hour wait time, though. I did hear about that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a Wednesday and a Thursday night she was there, too. Like,
that's
I would have been
egregious.
furious if I paid money and I don't see her go on till 11. I got work in the morning.
No good.
For this pig.
No good. The beautiful thing about the Islander game, we were home. I mean, you two were crying about, let's go to this place and get chicken wings. I'm like, these are you fucking queers. It was like 10:30. I'm like,
Everybody wanted some wings.
I'm like, enough already.
Yeah.
You go, just keep on jerking each other off in the back seat. You two drunk fags.
You didn't let us have any of your popcorn.
Oh,
we wanted
my
some
God.
wings.
You know what? We did. You know, there was 4 of us. You would say that potentially Monty should be the most well known, and then us. And yet, as far as sightings, it was Tony. Every 5 minutes, you'd see like, "Hey, Tony!"
Like, oh, Tony's talking to more people. It's like, it's my cousin that I haven't seen. In 72 years.
Then he's in an embrace with someone, and I'm like, "Who's that?" He's like, "Oh, it's my cousin." I'm like, "Oh, you see her all the time? Haven't seen her since '87." And I'm like, "What? Your cousin?"
Exactly. How do you even recognize someone you haven't seen in 30
But like,
years?
it wasn't like a cousin, like a fake cousin. This was like a real blood cousin.
Blood cousin, yeah.
Real blood cousin. And we saw some other people that Tony recognized.
Tony's like, oh, that's blah, blah, blah. That's blah, blah. I'm like, all right.
I saw people, I think, I don't think Monty, who lives around the block from there.
He's a national headliner. He lives around the block. Guy doesn't know his soul. He knew the bartender, I think.
Right, exactly. National headliner in his 80s, been around for a very long time.
In his 80s, yeah.
But no, we had a very lovely time, and
great time.
we'll go back. We will definitely go back, and they're doing big things over there. The bill they're doing there next to the UBS Arena. They're knocking down the old Belmont. They're building a new track, building a new building.
They should just knock down the whole Belmont.
It's gonna be. pretty phenomenal, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do we think it is?
I think it is. It's gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty excited for the things that are coming over there.
next time.
Well, I didn't tell you what else we did this past weekend.
Okay.
We had Juliana was in the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer play.
Stop it.
Oh my goodness, what a
Oh,
she did such
wow.
and that's why we were worried because she was sick. She was home from school Thursday and Friday.
Oh,
We're like,
my
oh my God, she's not
God.
gonna be able to do this. The kid bounced back Friday. She had a great performance.
Wow, the
Two
little
shows.
mongoose, huh?
Little mongoose.
Yeah.
Little
that's nice.
muskrat.
Yeah,
Great performance. She was phenomenal. She played 3 parts.
she did.
And Rudolph
Yep.
had an injury on Friday night.
The real
Kid-
injury?
the kid that played Rudolph.
Yeah.
A little black kid.
Uh-huh.
He was Garnett is his name.
Uh-huh.
And at the end of the play on Friday night, the Santa's sleigh ran over his foot.
Holy Jesus.
So he had
That's
to
because you got a size 11, that little fuck.
because he's 27 years old.
Jesus. Garnett, move that goddamn hoof. We told you, motherfucker. God damn it.
So Saturday I walk in.
You're 6 years old. Watch your foot at 13.
Saturday I walk in, and all the kids are backstage, but he's on the stage
Yeah.
because he's just sitting there in a wheelchair.
Oh, my God, Garnett. Now he's looking for benefits now. Already fucking beating the
That's
system
it.
to shreds.
Already trying to get it past.
Holy
the system.
shit, Garnett. You're not going to get wages.
You gotta see this kid. I'll
Fucking
put
Christ almighty,
the
Garnett.
picture up on our site, but it was hilarious.
No, don't
This
put it
was
up
him.
on the. We don't want this.
I think Alex
thing.
This
Schwartz's
is
knocking
him.
on the back door.
No.
He fell asleep in the wheelchair too.
Oh my
Sitting
God.
on the
Don't
stage.
post that. Do not post that. That's unbelievable.
hilarious.
He fell asleep.
Oh my
This
God.
is 20 minutes before the play started.
Why does he look so little? Is he?
He's 8.
Oh, but he looks like he's got like a disease.
He
like,
might.
Yeah. All right. So you sure it wasn't like gout and it wasn't?
I don't know what the heck it was.
Oh my God. Now I feel bad about Garnett.
Here's little,
and his
little
big ass.
Juliana, my elf.
God, she is such a gorgeous
She
little
really
child.
is,
Yeah,
isn't
so
she?
beautiful.
She's a little elf. She was
Yeah.
she was a beautiful little reindeer,
So beautiful. Yeah.
and she was Queen Moonracer also.
Wow.
Rudolph. So
Well, regards to Garnett and his New York social disability case, and
he's getting tacked right onto the EBT card.
that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Did I just hear? What was that noise I just heard? Oh,
Was that Santa? Did I hear ho
did I
ho
just-
ho?
Did I just hear it sleigh?
I think so.
What is that, Tony?
I didn't hear anything.
Oh,
Oh,
I thought I heard like a sleigh
I
land
did
on the
too,
roof.
yeah.
And like I heard
Garnett. Oh my God! Can't believe Garnett just landed with his wheelchair sleigh on top of the fucking.
What you talk about, Willis?
Oh my God! Poor Garnett and his big 17-foot hooves.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
And before we move on, also, I do
Sure.
want to let you know. Do you know where I went right before we came here?
I would assume some sort of an ethnic place to eat. I would have guessed Japanese noodles.
All right, I don't even have to.
Fire
but
away.
It was the place the place.
Again with the touching.
I like to touch more. The place that you went to, the little Asian place.
Oh, yeah.
The noodle
Yeah,
place
with
that just opened
with the name. Yeah.
With the name. What's it called?
I don't know.
So, it was phenomenal. We loved it.
Did you sit down?
We sat down. We went
Shut
in there and sat
up.
down. It is beautiful inside.
Beautiful.
It's really nice
It's
inside.
not like Levittown at all.
It is called Dangji Zhangping
Yeah.
Shushang.
Right.
Shushang.
That's what happens when you drop a fork down the stairs.
Oh, it was great. very. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, thank
oh
you.
my
I had to
goodness.
look at Tony
That's
for
how
that.
they name their restaurants.
Go ahead.
Very inexpensive.
Okay.
Delicious. We got a noodle soup that the three of us share.
And it comes with it's like a large amount
It's
of stuff.
huge, and
yeah.
it's
a
like
trough.
$10 for this trough of soup.
They're like $11. I'm like, for
Yeah.
everything? They're like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And
Like
the
the
guy
shoe
that,
also?
and they make the soup at the table for you. They drop all the stuff in the soup.
Well,
and
that
then
was
you
the
sit-
issue. For me, I took it home and I didn't realize what belonged where. So I'm
Everything's
like,
raw.
wait a second. Like, does this shrimp go with this boot? Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff. And then there's the noodles are fresh.
Noodles are super fresh.
Soft.
Joanna ate all the noodles.
Yeah.
You sit there. They give you a thing of chili oil. A thing.
Yeah.
Of, they had this pepper oil, but it was like peppercorn oil. You ever have Szechuan peppercorns?
I have not.
What they do is they make your whole mouth numb.
Oh, okay.
They're not like spicy, but they numb your entire mouth.
Oh, like a
And
stroke,
I didn't realize.
almost.
I felt
Yeah.
like I was because I didn't realize that that's what was happening.
Right.
That I put it in my soup mix, and then my mouth went numb. I'm
You're
like,
praying that everyone else at the table is also having a stroke.
Like, anyone else with mouth going numb?
Anyone else have Bill's palsy with soup? Bill's palsy soup?
But you know that it's good Asian food because the place is littered with Orientals.
Yeah.
They are We were the only whites in there.
Yeah.
And I noticed that whole strip there,
Asians.
right here on Hempstead Turnpike.
Yes.
That whole strip where it is, like, it's by the IHOP.
Yeah.
Everything else there is like an Oriental kind of place.
It's an Asian place, yes.
They have a Zumi is the sushi, the hibachi place.
Hibachi,
They have
Japanese,
that
yeah.
Chinese noodle place.
Right.
There's a liquor store, which
Right.
I'm sure Asian people own
Well,
that.
it's called Ricker Store,
Liquor store. There's a laundromat
which we know is Asian,
and a nail salon.
which is only Asian.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
a
like,
nail
it's just
salon.
like, where do these people come from?
Right, Asia. That's it.
I guess we figured that one out.
Yeah.
But like that whole strip, it's just like all littered with Orientals.
Well, I mean, it's not rugs. Is it-
No, Oriental people. The people of the Orient.
You know what's funny is that no one ever uses that expression except you and probably your dad. I'm assuming behind closed doors.
I have an Oriental uncle,
Yeah.
and my dad will be like, we'll have like Thanksgiving dinner. And my dad,
Yeah.
there's this Oriental guy that I work with. He's like, hey, you're not supposed to say that. I'm like, he's
Yeah.
cool, my uncle. He gets it.
Yeah.
But
At least at Thanksgiving, and then when he leaves.
it's just he doesn't speak English. So he doesn't
Yeah.
get it. No, he does. He's a good guy. And but my dad always says like Oriental. I'm like, you're not supposed. This is supposed to be Asian.
That's what
you know?
that. Just me and you get to say that to each
Yeah,
other, Dad,
exactly.
when we're not hugging each other.
But that's his thing. He's like, I'm not a rug. There's Oriental rugs.
Right.
But
That's right.
But just say it. We know.
Yeah,
What,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what you know what we mean.
Right. We know what the bigots mean. We know exactly what it is.
You know if you don't know what it means, then you wouldn't have a problem with it.
I guess it's, people have seen me post on Facebook, but I can drop the bomb to you guys who have not followed me on Facebook, the very rough news that Pizza has officially gone under, which is, I have to tell you, the day, it was incredible. Friday morning, I went up to Binghamton to pick up Samantha as well as one of Anna's roommates. Anna had been home the day before. And as we were driving home, just to make small talk, I was telling Anna's friend Marina, the Pizza story. And this is a kid who gets it. She's like a good personality. She's like, oh my God, I can't wait to go. Like, I want to see,
no.
So we were probably 20 miles away, and she started doing a little deep dive on her own, and she Googled it, and she read an article that months before, which I had not read this article, Przemysław Fick had been exonerated on all charges.
Really?
Yeah, he had been exonerated on all charges.
God
so
bless
I'm
him.
like, so any excitement that we had for going to Pizza were exacerbated by the fact that he was free. So I'm like, this is going to be a great moment,
I'll look it up though. But they dropped the charges. Is he innocent?
Done. Everything was sealed. He's off.
Really?
He's done. Yeah, he's off. So we get to the exit. We pull over, and I cruise into the beer world, Pizza shopping center with all the vim and vigor you could imagine. And as I go to cruise into the spot, I look up, and the pizza in the Pizza sign is down. It's gone. So
man.
the sign is made out of logs. The logs are pizza, and just the pizza's there. And I literally, my foot slips off the gas, and I couldn't even barely pull into the lot. I was so disjointed.
Yeah.
And park the car, walk up, and the shades are down, and it's done. It's done with. And it was devastating for it's been so significant in my life for the last 2 years, and I had just explained this whole wonderful story to Marina, and it came crashing down.
So do you think that he closed shop because he's like I don't have these charges against me now. I don't have to have a pizza place
As
in
a
the
front,
middle of
yeah.
in the backwoods of Western New York.
Right. I don't know.
Now he can open up in the big city again.
I don't have any
big,
idea.
Big city Fick again.
I don't have.
He's got that big Fick energy.
He's waving his big Fick around. This is my Fick. Suck my Fick.
Eat my pierogi. Eat my kielbasa. I'm Fick.
I've been doing a little Facebook searching. I've been messing around with some people in Sullivan County on social media. Like, hey, what happened to Przemysław? I haven't gotten anything back, but I've been trying
do some
though.
deep diving.
Yeah, I haven't tried it whatsoever.
Any way you could reach out to Przemysław?
I'm not done. This only just happened. Obviously, this just happened on Friday.
You know what I'd like to get together? Przemysław and coleslaw.
Przemysław coleslaw, my mother's accountant. That's right.
We've told that story on here.
Oh
the
yeah,
coleslaw story, yeah.
coleslaw. Yeah. So
It's almost tax season. You're gonna have to call him.
you know, we'll be calling coleslaw. I'll be asking him about Presemis Law, and it's going to be a big thing. We did stop in at Beer World, which is the largest beer distributor you'll ever see in your entire life. Yeah. We needed to go to the bathroom. Wanted to grab a drink, and there was this guy there, some perv, who was. This was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. He's asking me and the girls to take shots, like he's like, and I'm like, these kids are underage, and like I'm driving.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just had a group of Orientals in here, and they just had it. And I'm like, I swear to God, I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, this is. I'm like, you can't say that, Mike.
Yeah, they can't even drive when they're sober.
It's like they can't even see through their eyeballs, and I gave the Orientals. I'm like, dude, you can't say that, Keegan. So it was really upsetting.
So after you and the girls got hammered.
Yeah, so we got lit, and the drive home was, I have to tell you, the drive to get from Binghamton to Pizza Pizza is a solid like 80, 90 miles. So it's not halfway, but it's a good haul that you can, by the time you get there, you know that you don't have a ton of like a little bit more than half your drive.
Yeah, you get a little bite of kielbasa pizza.
That's exactly
and you're like,
right.
All right, I'm full.
You grab a cream soda, you have a couple slices on the road, and I will tell you that right from that moment, things went downhill. Like the traffic started. It went to be a 3-hour long haul.
Now, was it just you and the girls? Was Maxwell with you?
No, it was just me, Samantha, and Anna's bestie from school. And right at that point, then Samantha became unhinged about a couple of things, and it just went downhill. Yeah. So, and then I came home and I posted, and there was not a lot of response, which led me to think that the Pizza Pizza algorithm was not what it used to be, because I used to post Pizza Pizza content, and I would get hits like crazy.
Exactly.
And there wasn't like more than 14 or 15 reactions, which made it even worse for me.
It could also be like people were shocked and they didn't
shocked.
You don't know
how to respond. Yeah.
If you're what's going on over there?
I'm just checking all the computer and everything.
It's a little unsettling.
None of the show's being taped at all. Nothing's happening.
It looked like he was trying to blow himself, to be honest.
Seriously, I'm like, he can do that with that whole leg thing makes it so he can reach down to his dick. I'm like,
we're gonna be out of here in 14 minutes.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, my God in heaven. I'm like, I might think of taking a leg off if I could do that myself. Tony's bent over with his head in his nuts. And we're like, is everything? What is going on here? Is this some sort of a prosthetic ritual?
I was just checking something.
Yeah,
we could see.
Yeah. I almost pulled down my sweatshorts. I didn't realize what was going to happen. So that was it, man. So no Pizza Pizza, and there's not a lot of other places to speak of. Like, a lot of times you go through these upstate drives, you can stop like a Cracker Barrel, which, for the record, I don't know. Somehow this conversation came up in my house the other day, and I feel like anytime I hear someone speak about Cracker Barrel, that they speak about it with a reverence, like they're eating a gift from God. I happen to be borderline nauseated by the idea of Cracker Barrel.
I love Cracker Barrel.
Well, that's what I'm saying. People, No, and that's fine. I'm not going to judge you. I feel like most people feel that way. I do not feel that way about Cracker Barrel at all.
I love it's a destination for me. If I know that there's going to be a Cracker Barrel on the way home, I look forward to. I love the quaintness of it. You walk in there, you walk through the general store.
I like that. I'm not going to deny that. I like that there's a little game you can play, like a little tic-tac-toe of little things. I'm fine with that. I just find that anything that I've ever seen or eaten at Cracker Barrel, when you're done with it, there's a good 1/4-inch pile of oil sitting there.
Of course.
Yeah, that's not. I'm like, for breakfast,
that's how I eat it down south.
I'm like an egg white, onions, wheat toast. Like, why does there need to be a pot of oil there?
98% of the time, I'm the same way. I do egg whites with tomato and feta cheese.
Yeah.
No butter. I don't even do bread. But when I'm there, I feel like I'm a good old boy.
Yeah,
I'm a good old boy. I want ham hocks.
Yeah,
and I want my cornbred.
But I don't have a problem with that. But why does it have to be so oily? Why is the food so oily?
Oh, because that's where the flavor is. That's where the flavor's at, boy.
So you talk like a slave owner when you go there? Is that what happens?
That's right.
Give it to me greasy, motherfucker.
Oh, you don't throw away that bacon grease.
And go clean out that pig pen, Ezra.
That's what you feel like when you're in there. You feel like
you're
traveling back in time to a simpler time.
Better time.
Better
the
time.
Orientals.
And what are we trying?
No,
Exactly.
Again, for me, I don't feel the reverence that people.
I'll tell you one thing though. If there were a Cracker Barrel right here in Levittown,
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel the same way because before Denny's ever came here,
Right.
the only time I ever went to a Denny's was like when I went to Connecticut to visit my buddy in college.
Right.
So it was like once or twice a year I'd go
Sure.
to Denny's.
Sure.
But once they started coming around over here, I'm like, it lost its.
So I don't. Was that the Denny's that opened up in Levittown near the game place? Was that a real regular Denny's, or it was like
as far as I know, like they had all the Denny's
it just
stuff.
died. It just.
But also like the Denny's that I remember as a kid, like when I would go on like vacation with my parents, like they were like full diners.
Yeah.
You know.
I find Denny's to be another shitty joint. Also,
That's what I thought. As soon as they came here,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, there's a Denny's, and then we go there at like 2 a.m. after going to the bar, and I'd be like, all right, this is garbage.
I think the best place is when you're like leaving Atlantic City, for example. That diner on the White Horse Pike, when you that's a fucking diner, man.
It's a great diner.
That's a diner.
And that's one of those destination places.
That's a destination diner.
Yeah,
There,
yep.
you get a good egg omelet.
Yeah.
With some yummy thick bacon.
That's right.
Yeah.
No,
I'll try to
whole
appreciate-
hog.
I'll try to
get that whole hog in there.
you want your whole hog in someone. I'll try to be better when it comes to the Cracker Barrel because they have cute little things and little
very quaint.
signs and
very quaint.
Yeah.
You get the chicken and dumplings.
Yeah. All right. I'll do better.
Give it a shot. But like I said, if there was one here where I was able to go twice a week, I would lose its essence to me.
I gotcha. Okay, fair enough. Brings me, by the way, talking a little signs that we've done some work on the house over the past couple of weeks. We changed. We put up a new lamp post out front. Ooh. We added some new lighting in front of the house. So when Max plays basketball night, he has spotlights. Right. We painted the upstairs bathroom. We just did some touching up around the house. And the one thing that I insisted, I don't have a lot of say in things, but a couple of the things that we had up hanging in the bathroom, one of them is a pet peeve of mine that Stacy agreed we don't have to put it back up. But do you ever go into like someone's bathroom and they have signs up with directives as to how to carry yourself as a human being? Yeah, and we had one of those. It wasn't to the level of, make sure when you go pissy, flush like the fishies. And like, if you have to have directives like that,
if you sprinkle when you tinkle.
I got to tell you something. Those drive me fucking nuts.
So condescending.
But if you have people in your home that don't know how to flush their piss, they don't belong in your fucking house. Yeah, exactly. Wash your hands, you big pig.
Completely
flush
agree.
your urine. Yeah. If it floats, let it go. Or like people are like, what? Let it go. No.
That one I agree with. Though.
No, but I've seen signs like. Well,
I completely agree. I hate that shit.
I want to see a sunflower. I want to see a boat. I don't want directives about what to do with the piss I just left in the fucking toilet.
I know. I'm gonna spray.
Right. Exactly.
And I know I'm gonna clean it up.
Yeah. But now I'm not though. If that sign, if I'm staring at that sign, I'm not gonna do it.
The only one I saw of those that I ever liked was one of my friend's bathrooms, written in cursive and like a plaque. It just says, "Please don't do cocaine in my bathroom."
No, that I like. No, I like irony and I like fun, but I don't want to be told what to do. I'm a 38-year-old man. I know how to carry myself.
Exactly.
In a restroom.
I don't want to have to know what you want me to do after I sprinkle.
But there was
be a sweetie, wipe the seedy.
There was one. That's right. Exactly. Like no, I'm not. No. I'm gonna piss behind the shower curtain. Yeah. Your shower curtain has urine on it right now.
Now we're gonna play a game called Find My Urine.
That's right. Exactly. But I remember someone, and I don't remember when it was, but years ago, that there was an inference in the message that if it was pee, you'd have to flush it. Like if it was overnight or something like that.
If it's yellow, let it mellow.
That's exactly right. Do you write these things for a living? Are you a bathroom sign maker? If it's yellow, let it yellow. My day job, and I'm like, that's fucking savage.
Yeah, exactly.
I think somebody would rather be woken up while sleeping of a flush of a toilet, of waking up and then seeing a big thing of asparagus piss.
I know.
You know?
Hey, don't flush your disgusting urine when you're sleeping over my house. I'm trying to save a gallon of water.
That's exactly right.
Exactly.
That's exactly my point. Oh my God, I
know.
almost just stroked out with that just now.
I don't want to go to somebody's house where they're encouraging people not to flush
Thank
their
you.
bodily functions.
Thank you. Thank you. That's right. Yellow, let it mellow. That's
Yeah, if
exactly
it's brown,
right.
flush it down.
Hey, Jimmy, did you have asparagus last night?
Exactly,
I went to take
yeah.
a leak at 6:30 and it stunk in there like a fucking like a Chinese whorehouse.
Yeah. Why is there blood in your urine?
That's right. And by the way, your girlfriend's pregnant.
And you have AIDS.
Yeah. So thank you for.
Oh my God.
I mentioned it to Stacy. She's like, just throw the fucking thing out. It's okay. Like she
Exactly,
did not give me a hard time about it.
Yep.
So
I don't. The signs are always kind of. There was one. It's like, hey guys, it's not as long as you think it is. Stand
Right.
closer to the toilet.
Right.
Shut up.
No, fuck
I
you.
know it's not.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Seriously. No, I'm not happy about those.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we took a stance on
Now I'm gonna
those.
take a dump in the tank of your toilet.
That's right. That's exactly right. Just leave a big floater in their
Yeah,
tank.
exactly.
That's right. Oh man, thank you for making me feel good about that.
Yeah,
'cause
no,
that was something
I'm totally.
I was sitting on that for
I'm
a while.
Team Hirschman on that one.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll close my tales for the week by saying that I had a really good. And I know we've talked about this, but I still have to tell you that if you were to say to me, I'll offer you $1 million, or the deli that you go into, somebody will remember your name. I will every time. Like Max had hoops practice. Actually, it was the day that I was leaving to Binghamton. I dropped him off at basketball practice at 6:10 in the morning, and then I stopped in the deli, and then I was hitting the road to go to Binghamton. And I was not in, like, sometimes you're in the mood for a road trip, but it was fucking early, and I was gonna be by myself, and I wasn't in a good mood at all. I wasn't looking forward
It's
to
also
the
too
trip.
early to like call people. I know you like to call
Exactly.
people.
That's why I had an hour or two until I could start calling people. But I went into the deli and I was like, I just put down a yoo-hoo and I grabbed a corn muffin. And the guy there who does not, I don't think he knows me well, but he's like, anything else, Mark? And I was like, my God, this is going to be a good day, isn't it?
All right.
Yeah.
You just
and
turned my day around.
I'm
there.
like, dude, I'm just loving you right now. And I just took that muffin and that yoo-hoo and I got onto fucking Northern State.
Probably the
and-
best breakfast you've ever had in your
Oh
life.
man, I was so excited. And then from there, the day got really good, and I flew there. I was on the phone with Half for a little while. Like,
Only thing that would have made it better if he was like, oh, my sister was at your show the other night. She said you were great.
oh man, I got a lot of good accolades after that show the other night. By the way, I will say that definitely gave me a little jump in my step.
But you got on the phone with Hafty, our buddy Hafty?
I was on the phone with Half for a little while because he don't fucking sleep. He's always up doing like Egyptian prayers in the morning or whatever the fuck he's doing.
I'm smoking some meat and I'm
That's right. That's right. I'm smoking meat at 6 o'clock.
I'm smoking meat. I'm playing some drums. I'm doing Tai Chi.
So I spoke to him for a little bit. I spoke to Monty for a little bit. I spoke to Big Dave in Massachusetts. And then honestly, like before you know it, I got there within like 3 hours and 20 minutes. Like I flew to Binghamton. On the way home, it was a big fucking douchebag trip, but I got there nice and easy. But anyway, here we are, man. 1 hour of being back in the studio, and it felt really good.
Felt
We flew.
like 5 minutes.
Yeah, we felt great. So with no further ado, let's hear what we got coming up. Mikey, you go first, and then we'll close with Tony, and then we'll move on to
You know
next
what
week.
I have coming up? I have Christmas with my family.
Wow,
that's
isn't
what I'm
that
looking
nice?
forward to. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. New Year's Eve, we got a show going on here in the Giggle Room at Governor's. It's
shit.
a 10 o'clock show.
That's awesome.
Tony Landolfi's going to be headlining.
Killer.
It's 10 o'clock. It's like $35. It includes a champagne toast.
Oh,
and
that's
party
terrific.
favors and stuff.
Yeah, I'll
and-
be there. That's great.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna be.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be there. I'm actually gonna be in Pennsylvania.
Were you going to be in the Comedy
I'm
Cove?
at the Comedy Works in Bristol with Carrie.
Oh shit.
It's a Long Island show.
It is a very Long Island show. It's me. Little Mario Bosco is gonna be
shit.
chugging along.
That's
there.
great.
Sean Elliott.
Nice.
It's gonna be the four of us.
Yeah.
That's gonna if anybody's near Philadelphia, that's where it is. Comedy
Okay.
Works in Philly.
Good.
That's the New Year's Eve show there.
Yeah.
We got it up here right on the old thing here.
Beautiful. Look at that. Mario
gonna be
Carey,
fun.
Sean Elliott, and Mike Egan. I love it.
We got a little Italian midget. We got a black guy.
Yeah.
We got a Greek lady.
Nice.
Got it all.
It's
All
the United
good.
Nations.
Yeah.
Really nice. Okay, good.
But yeah,
that's it.
but
Other
if
than
you
that,
if you're not
Christmas-
going to be in Philly, come here to the Governor's Comedy Club in the Giggle Room, 10:30 show. It's going to be great. Tony Landolfi and Emily Santosis.
All right, good. Awesome. Very lovely. And what about you, Anthony? What do you have coming up, my man?
Well, thank you very much for letting me push. This Friday, come enjoy a fun murder mystery at the brokerage. It's a mob-themed holiday murder mystery. It's comedic murder mystery. It's going to be a lot of fun. Music and dancing and games, and you get to solve the crime. It happens right in front of you. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Excellent.
Tickets moving pretty good so far?
You know what? I haven't even checked, but I sure as hell hope so.
Okay. All right. So this Friday night at the Brokerage Comedy Club, Murder Mystery Evening with Tony Walker's Knock 'em Dead comedy troupe. Other than that, we will be back next week for our Christmas spectacular Tuesday. Right? No, we're not here next
we're
week.
Closed
at all.
next. The
We're
whole
closed. The whole
studio's
studio's closed
next week. Yeah.
Hey, we're not going to be here next week.
We're not going to be here next week. We didn't know that, but all right. So with that said, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. We love you. We will see you after the New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everyone.
We do have some new stuff come. Mikey's working on some social media stuff that's happening, fast and furious. So with that said, good to be back with you guys. Merry Christmas. Take care of each other. Love each other, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Okay.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.